don't get ahead by luck. You get ahead by learning what others ignore every single day. That's the truth that separates people who grow from people who stay stuck. In today's world, what you knew yesterday is already outdated. If you're not feeding your mind daily, you're falling behind, and someone else who's less talented but more consistent is catching up. This isn't about being smart. It's about being serious. It's about building a habit of daily learning, even if it's just for 30 minutes. One new idea a day can change how you think, how you work, and what you achieve. Success now belongs to the people who never stop learning because they never stop improving. If you keep waiting for the perfect time or for motivation to show up, you'll keep losing time. Real growth starts when you take control of what you feed your mind. This video will show you exactly how to use daily self-education to stay ahead of 99% of people. Not with hype, with clear, practical steps you can start today. Watch until the end, because by the time it's over, you won't see learning the same way again. You'll see it as your edge, and you'll start using it to win. Chapter 1. Wake up. Nobody's coming to save you. If you want to change your life, this is where it starts. This is the moment, not next week, not next year, not someday when everything magically feels right. You don't need to wait until you're more confident, more qualified, or more ready. You are capable right now, capable of taking full control of your future. Because the truth is simple, and once you see it clearly, you can't ignore it anymore. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's all on you. And that's the most empowering realization you'll ever have. People wait their whole lives for something to happen. They wait for someone to knock on the door with an opportunity. They wait for a sign, a miracle, a perfect moment. But the people who move forward, the ones who grow, the ones who build something real, those people didn't wait. They didn't waste time hoping the world would finally notice them. They got up, looked in the mirror, and said, "I'm taking over from here." That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who move ahead. Not intelligence, not luck, but the decision to stop expecting rescue and start becoming the answer. Every single day, people scroll through their lives. They escape into distractions. They fill their hours with comfort. But underneath it all, they feel it, that hunger to grow, that quiet frustration of knowing they're meant for more but not doing enough about it. The battle isn't outside of you, it's inside. The moment you stop pretending someone else is going to push you, fix you, or motivate you, that's the moment you unlock your real power. Because here's what no one tells you: your transformation begins the second you take full responsibility. You don't need another motivational quote on your feed. You don't need more empty promises from the world. What you need is the raw truth. If you don't change something today, nothing changes. You will not accidentally become great. You will not stumble into discipline. You will not fall into success. That's not how it works. You have to choose to rise. You have to choose to step up, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when no one else is clapping for you. Especially when no one else is clapping for you, because that's when it counts. Nobody owes you anything. That's not a cruel statement. It's freedom. You don't need anyone to choose you. You can choose yourself. You don't have to wait for permission. You already have it. The most successful people in the world didn't start because they were ready. They started because they were tired of sitting in the same place, repeating the same habits, living the same day on repeat. They had one conversation with themselves that changed everything. No one is coming. I have to be the one. When you accept that it's on you, life gets simpler. Not easier, but clearer. You stop waiting for the weekend to feel alive. You stop hoping the right person will come fix your insecurities. You stop wasting time trying to get approval from people who don't even care about your future. Because once you understand the truth, you can never go back to the way things were. You're too awake now. And here's the thing, you don't have to turn your life upside down overnight. You don't have to do everything today. You just have to start. One honest decision, one powerful hour, one focused step. That's how you shift your direction. Not with drama or noise, but with quiet, steady action. You say, this is the new standard. This is who I am now. And then you prove it to yourself. Not once, every day, because nobody's going to hand you the life you want. You have to go out and earn it. Inch by inch, day by day. There will be resistance. Your old self will try to pull you back into comfort. Your mind will give you excuses that sound like reasons. You'll be tempted to wait for a better mood, a better moment, a better version of you. But all that is noise. The truth is, discipline starts the second you stop negotiating with yourself. You do it because you said you would. Not because it's easy, not because it's fun, because you're building something bigger than your feelings. You're building a future. Think about it like this. Every single action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. And if you're not voting for that person, who's casting those votes for you? No one. Because no one is coming. And that's exactly why you can't afford to waste another day giving your power away. This is your time to build, to train, to learn, to become. It won't be comfortable, it won't be convenient, but it will be worth it. Because the person you become in the process is stronger than anything comfort could ever offer you. You don't need someone to hold your hand. You don't need a shortcut. You need the truth. And here it is, you are not broken, but you are responsible. You are not stuck, but you are afraid. You are not behind, but you have been distracted. So now is your chance to make a different choice. Not tomorrow. Now. You owe it to yourself to stop living like someone else is going to make it all okay. You have everything you need to start showing up like someone who's serious about their future. Because once you get serious, things start to shift. You stop accepting average. You stop settling for what you've been handed. You start reaching for something real, something earned. You don't play the victim anymore. You become the builder. You start learning daily. Not because someone told you to, but because you know that knowledge is your edge. You start treating your time like it matters. You stop talking about it, and you start proving it. Quietly, consistently, powerfully. This is what it means to wake up, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's when you stop looking outside of yourself for answers. When you stop blaming the world for why you're not where you want to be. It's when you take the pain, the confusion, the frustration, and you turn it into fuel. You stop waiting for someone to notice your potential, and you start showing up like someone who knows exactly where they're going. That fire you feel, that quiet voice inside you telling you there's more, that's not your imagination. That's your calling. But it will not wait forever. You either answer it now, or you watch someone else live the life you could have had. And that's not what you're here for. You didn't come this far just to keep coasting. You didn't survive everything you've been through just to quit on yourself now. You're here to lead yourself, to demand more, to educate yourself every day until your mind becomes a weapon. Until your actions reflect your goals, until you look back 1 year from now and barely recognize the person you used to be. This isn't about motivation, it's about ownership. Motivation comes and goes. Ownership stays. It's the foundation of everything great. And you already have it. Now it's time to use it. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more distractions. The clock is ticking, and the only question that matters is how serious are you about your future. Because now you know, nobody is coming, and that's exactly why you will rise. Chapter 2. Education is a daily choice, not a degree. The real winners in life are not defined by titles, diplomas, or the schools they attended. They are defined by what they do with their minds every single day. The truth that shakes the world is this: those who rise to the top are the ones who decided to never stop learning, no matter what. Not when they graduated, not when they got a job, not even when life got hard. They made one simple but powerful decision to keep learning every day because they understood that growth is the only real edge in a world that never stops changing. Every day, the world moves. Information is multiplying. Skills are evolving. Opportunities are being created, taken, and lost. And the gap between those who keep up and those who don't, it's growing wider every hour. What separates those who lead from those who follow is not talent, it's not background, and it's definitely not luck. It's the choice to feed their mind, to level up their understanding, and to turn their time into transformation. Daily education is the fuel of those who refuse to be average. It's the daily discipline of those who want more than just survival. They want mastery. The people who are truly ahead didn't wait to be told what to learn. They didn't wait for someone to hand them a curriculum. They didn't sit back hoping a course, a coach, or a program would fix their lives. They became self-driven. They took it upon themselves to seek wisdom, to challenge their thinking, to understand how the world works. And they didn't do it once in a while. They made it a lifestyle. This is what you have to understand if you want to separate yourself from the crowd. Education is no longer something you do once in a system. It's something you commit to daily, because the world is moving fast, and standing still is the same as falling behind. It's not about reading 100 books just to say you did. It's not about watching every video or collecting every certificate. It's about finding the ideas, the skills, and the insights that make you sharper, clearer, stronger. It's about asking better questions, challenging your own thinking, and staying open to growth. It's the mindset that says, I may not know everything yet, but I'm committed to learning something today that will make me better than I was yesterday. That kind of energy is what builds empires. That kind of commitment is what makes you dangerous in the best way possible. You know what's real, sitting in silence with a journal and asking yourself, what did I learn today that changed the way I see the world? You know what creates transformation, making time every single day to read something that makes you think deeper, reflect harder, act smarter. That's how your confidence builds. Not from pretending to know it all, but from being humble enough to learn and strong enough to apply it. The most dangerous person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one who studies in silence and moves with intention. That's who you become when you educate yourself every day. When you treat education as a daily ritual, you begin to see the game differently. You don't chase trends, you study them. You don't follow blindly, you question everything. You become more aware, more prepared, and more equipped to take control of your future. You stop living by default and start living by design. Every piece of knowledge becomes a tool. Every hour invested in your mind becomes a weapon. And the more you grow, the more unshakable you become. Because knowledge, when applied with intention, gives you power that can't be taken away. And the thing is, You don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need to become a monk or move to the mountains. All you need is consistency. All you need is one sacred promise to yourself. No matter what happens today, I will learn. Whether it's from a book, a podcast, a conversation, a mistake, it doesn't matter. What matters is the mindset. What matters is showing up for your mind the same way others show up for their distractions. Because once you start feeding your brain with discipline, clarity, and curiosity, you won't need someone to motivate you. The results will drive you. The growth will pull you forward. The clarity will become your addiction. Think about it. The people who make big moves, the ones who shift industries, influence millions, or build legacies, they all share something in common. They never stop learning. Even at the top, they're still students. Because they understand that in a world where everything changes, staying sharp is not an option. It's a requirement. You either evolve or you expire. You either outlearn or you get outpaced. The market, the world, and life itself don't slow down for those who choose to stay the same. Every single day is a chance to grow, a chance to get smarter, a chance to understand yourself, others, and the world just a little more. And when you take that seriously, when you approach every day with that hunger, that urgency, that fire, you become a different kind of person. You stop being reactive. You stop being emotional. You start becoming strategic. You start becoming wise. And wisdom isn't about being right. It's about being ready. Ready to handle life. Ready to lead. Ready to win. No one can give this to you. No one can force it. You have to want it. You have to see it for what it is. Daily education is not a trend. It's not a tactic. It's not something you do just to feel productive. It's the foundation of greatness. It's the lifestyle of those who know that excellence is earned, not given. That clarity is trained, not inherited. That transformation is built, not found. So if you're serious about standing out, if you're serious about staying ahead, if you're serious about creating a life that feels powerful, purposeful, and full of growth, start treating your education like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Your mind is your greatest asset, but only if you use it, only if you challenge it, only if you train it. Because the world won't wait for you to catch up. It will keep spinning, shifting, evolving. And the question is, will you keep up? Will you rise? Will you sharpen yourself so much that nothing can stop your progress? You don't need permission to grow. You don't need a title to start learning. You don't need to be perfect to begin. All you need is the choice, and you can make that choice right now. Because education is no longer something you finish, it's something you live. And the ones who understand that, they're already ahead. It's time for you to join them. Choose growth. Choose discipline. Choose to educate yourself every day and stay ahead of 99% of people who gave up too early, waited too long, or never believed they could become more. You don't owe it to anyone else. You owe it to yourself. Start now. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. Stay ahead. Chapter 3. 1 hour a day can make you dangerous. Success isn't about being born into it, having the best tools, or getting lucky. It's about what you choose to do with your time when no one's watching. 1 hour a day might sound small, but it's the single most powerful investment you can make in yourself. That one focused, uninterrupted hour can completely separate you from everyone else who is wasting time, distracted, or just existing without direction. You want to stay ahead of the 99%. Start owning just 1 hour. Every single day. Own it with discipline. Own it with intention. and use it to build the version of you that no one can compete with. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not less talented than anyone else. The real reason you feel stuck sometimes is because too much of your time is spent reacting and not enough of it is spent building. You get pulled into conversations that drain your energy. You lose hours scrolling through distractions. You keep putting off the very things that could make your future unrecognizable. And the hard truth is, if you can't control 1 hour, you're not ready for the life you keep dreaming about. The life you want demands focus. And focus begins with the decision to give at least 1 hour of your day to intentional, deliberate growth. Think about this for a moment. 1 hour a day over the course of a year is 365 hours. That's the equivalent of more than 9 full-time work weeks. What could you become if you gave yourself 9 full weeks to work solely on your mind, your skill set, your body, or your mission? And not just random effort, but concentrated, undistracted, self-improvement. That's not something average people do. That's what the top 1% build their lives on. They use time like it's gold. They treat every hour like it matters, because they know that small daily deposits lead to big compound rewards. This is where everything changes. When you decide that 1 hour is non-negotiable, you start training your brain to take yourself seriously. It's no longer about waiting to feel motivated. It's about honoring a commitment. It's about choosing growth even when no one is clapping for you, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. 1 hour becomes the sacred space where you remind yourself who you are becoming. It's not about perfection. It's not about doing it for applause. It's about becoming disciplined enough to outgrow your own excuses. That's when things start to shift. That's when people look at you months later and wonder how you leveled up so quickly. They won't understand the hour you invested when nobody else did. This isn't a trendy tip or a motivational high. This is a mental edge. It's about creating a standard in your life that doesn't change depending on how you feel. That hour becomes your advantage. While others are lost in noise, you're sharpening your mind. While others are complaining about how life isn't fair, you're preparing yourself to take full control. And that kind of preparation is what gives you quiet confidence. You don't need to talk about what you're doing. You show it in how you move, how you speak, and how you lead. You become dangerous, not because you're loud, but because you're focused. Nobody will hand you a life you're proud of. You build it hour by hour. You carve it out of the discipline you create when it's just you and the work. That hour is where your dreams either become clearer or fade away. That hour is where you either rise or repeat. And the people who rise are not special. They just made a decision to stop wasting time. They chose to block out the noise and build. They realized that if they can protect 1 hour, they can protect a future. And that's the mindset you have to develop. That kind of urgency, that kind of clarity, that kind of hunger to refuse anything that wastes your potential. 1 hour reading a book that challenges your thinking can shift the way you see life. 1 hour mastering a skill can push you closer to the income and impact you want. 1 hour in silence reflecting, journaling, or visualizing can create breakthroughs that years of noise never could. 1 hour working on your craft, your project, your body, or your vision can lead to results that make people wonder how you did it. And you'll know the answer. You'll know it was the hour they weren't willing to give themselves. People wait for permission to change. They wait for better circumstances. They wait for motivation to strike. But winners don't wait. They build their edge in silence, in consistency, in the hours no one else values. They show up, and they do the work, especially when it's not glamorous. And that 1 hour becomes their secret weapon. That 1 hour becomes the gap between talking about it and actually becoming it. It becomes the quiet advantage that compounds over time into results nobody else can copy. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You don't need fancy tools. All you need is a clear decision that your time matters too much to be wasted. You pick an hour and you guard it like it's the most valuable part of your day, because it is. You schedule it, you protect it, and you show up for it like your future depends on it, because it does. It's not about what you can do once in a while. It's about what you commit to every single day. That hour is yours. What you do with it defines everything. Imagine what your life will look like 6 months from now if you just commit to 1 hour of personal evolution every single day. Not for show, not for approval, but because you're serious about who you're becoming. Because you're done wasting time. Because you're done making excuses. Because you know that nobody's coming to hand it to you. And that's exactly why you're ready to take it. You want to become unstoppable. You want to earn confidence that can't be faked. You want to be the one that others look to for inspiration, clarity, and leadership. It starts with owning 1 hour. The rest of your life is built on what you choose to do in that hour. No one can do it for you. But if you make the decision, if you show up, if you stop negotiating with your potential, that hour will turn into power. It will turn into clarity. It will turn into legacy. So stop waiting for the right time. Start now. 1 hour today, 1 hour tomorrow, 1 hour every single day, dedicated to the future version of you that you refuse to disappoint. And if you stay committed to that, you won't just catch up. You'll pull ahead and never look back. Chapter 4. Average minds consume. Elite minds apply. The gap between who you are and who you want to become isn't just knowledge, it's what you do with that knowledge. The world is overflowing with information. You could watch 100 videos, read 1,000 books, listen to all the podcasts in the world, and still feel stuck. And that's not because you didn't learn anything. It's because you didn't move. You didn't act. The truth is, it's not the people who know the most who win. It's the ones who apply what they know with relentless focus and consistency. That's what separates average minds from elite ones. Average minds get addicted to consumption. Elite minds get obsessed with execution. You don't rise by collecting more information. You rise by making it real. It's not about what you watched last night. It's about what you did with it this morning. The problem is, most people confuse learning with growing. They think because they're busy listening, watching, or reading, that they're evolving. But information without execution is just noise. Motivation without action is just entertainment. And that kind of cycle will drain your energy faster than failure ever will. Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. But knowing alone doesn't change anything. What changes everything is when you take that knowledge and build something with it. When you turn ideas into action. When you stop collecting and start creating. Application is what sharpens the mind. It's the practice that refines your thinking. It's in the doing that you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. The moment you stop consuming content just to feel good and start using it to level up your real-life results, everything begins to change. Your confidence grows, not because you know it all, but because you're proving it to yourself. You don't just talk about discipline, you practice it. You don't just write down your goals, you chase them. You don't just hear advice, you apply it until it becomes part of your DNA. This is what makes a person powerful. It's not their ability to speak the language of growth. It's their ability to live it, to walk it, to embody it. Every single day, you're faced with a choice. You can scroll, binge, listen, and convince yourself you're being productive. Or you can get up, take what you already know, and put it into motion. You can experiment. You can fail forward. You can adjust. You can create results in silence while the rest of the world keeps talking. That's the move. That's the mindset that will make you unstoppable. When you look at people who are winning, really winning, they don't spend all day talking about what they've learned. They're too busy executing on what they already understand. They pick a direction, stay focused, and put in the reps. And the truth is, they're not smarter than you. They just made a different decision with the same information. They didn't need another course. They didn't need another video. They needed action, and they took it. Over and over again. That's the real game. You don't need more answers. You need more courage to use the answers you already have. Start noticing how often you consume something powerful and then move on without doing anything about it. That's the pattern that's keeping you stuck. It's not a lack of intelligence. It's not a lack of resources. It's the unwillingness to slow down and apply. It's the fear of messing up. It's the addiction to feeling inspired without being committed. But that ends when you decide it ends. When you stop being impressed by how much you consume and start getting obsessed with what you can build. When you treat every new piece of insight as a challenge, not to admire it, but to live it. You don't grow by collecting quotes. You grow by becoming someone who lives by principles. You don't get disciplined by watching someone else be disciplined. You get disciplined by choosing discomfort over convenience. You don't build confidence by memorizing lines from a motivational speech. You build it by doing the uncomfortable thing so many times that it becomes normal. That's how it works. The transformation happens in the application, not in the inspiration. And when you grasp that, you'll never look at content the same way again. It's time to slow down the intake and speed up the output. Take what you've already heard 100 times and ask yourself, how much of this am I actually living? That question will shift everything. You might not need another book right now. You might not need another video. You might just need to live the wisdom you already carry, to turn theory into behavior, to turn intentions into daily habits. That's where your edge lives, not in what you consume but in how you move. You want to separate yourself from the crowd. Start applying with obsession. Make your days about implementation. Build things. Break things. Learn from action. Improve through doing. And you'll quickly realize that most people are stuck, not because they don't have the answers, but because they never use them. And the ones who apply, they build momentum, they get feedback, they adjust faster, they grow in ways no amount of passive content can ever replicate. The greatest version of you is not waiting at the end of another podcast episode. It's not sitting inside the next book. It's not buried in a new course or a better method. It's waiting behind the actions you're too hesitant to take. It's waiting behind the discomfort you avoid. It's waiting behind the discipline you haven't built yet. And that version of you is unlocked only by application, by relentless, consistent execution. This is where the shift happens. When you stop being a collector of information and start being a creator of transformation. When you stop watching others do it and start proving that you can do it too. When you stop acting like a student of personal growth and start living like a product of it. Because once you apply what you know, you'll never be the same. You'll carry a different energy. You'll speak with a different confidence. You'll move with clarity that can't be copied. This is the mindset of the elite. Apply relentlessly. Reflect often. Improve daily. Stay focused. Don't get distracted by the noise. Keep building. Stay consistent. And remember, growth doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you do with what you know. You're one decision away from making your knowledge work for you instead of just sitting in your head. So stop consuming just to feel inspired. Start executing so you become unshakable. That's how you rise. That's how you lead. That's how you stay ahead of 99% of people and never look back. Chapter 5. The world is moving fast. You must move faster. This world isn't slowing down for anyone. While people are busy making excuses, waiting for the perfect time, or overthinking their next step, life is passing by, quietly, quickly, without asking for permission. And the truth is, the speed at which the world is evolving right now doesn't care how tired you are, how uncertain you feel, or how long you've been stuck in your comfort zone. The clock is ticking, whether you move or not. The only difference is this: those who choose to move faster will stay ahead, and those who hesitate will watch from the sidelines, wondering how it all slipped away so quickly. If you've ever felt like you're being left behind, it's not because you aren't smart enough or talented enough. It's because you're not adapting fast enough. You're not moving with the urgency your goals require. The truth that stings the most is the truth that frees you the fastest. In a fast-moving world, slow thinking and delayed action will cost you everything. Your peace, your opportunities, your growth. The edge belongs to those who can think clearly and act quickly. And the only way to survive in this pace of change is to become sharper, stronger, and more focused than ever before. Every industry is shifting. New skills are becoming obsolete just as fast as they're being learned. Technology isn't waiting for you to catch up. The digital age doesn't stop to let you breathe. And while some people are distracted, overwhelmed, or stuck watching others win, there are individuals out there moving at a speed that would shock you. They're learning daily, executing without hesitation, pivoting when needed. And while the rest of the world complains about how hard things have gotten, these people are building quietly, growing faster than ever, and gaining momentum that can't be bought. What does that mean for you? It means you can't afford to treat your life like a casual experiment. You can't operate like you've got unlimited time. You have to move like your goals have a deadline. You have to train your mind to think faster, to adapt on demand, and to take action before fear talks you out of it. This isn't about rushing. It's about eliminating delay. It's about developing a mindset that recognizes the moment and acts on it. No more waiting until you feel confident. No more sitting on potential. You either move now or stay where you are and pretend that you're okay with that. The truth is, the world rewards speed with opportunity. It doesn't reward hesitation. People who win are not always the smartest. They're the ones who show up before they feel ready, learn as they go, and improve through motion. They move faster because they're willing to be uncomfortable. They're willing to outlearn, outwork, and outlast everyone still thinking about what they might do. And when you move like that, doors start to open that never would have opened if you waited for everything to feel right. It's time to ask yourself something real. Are you growing at the pace your dreams demand? Are you learning fast enough to keep up with the evolution of the world around you? Are you taking your goals seriously enough to act with urgency every single day? Or are you still talking yourself out of your own future, convincing yourself you have more time than you really do? The truth hurts, but it also heals. And when you stop lying to yourself about how much time you have, you finally start treating your time like the treasure it really is. The people who move fast don't wait to be told what to do. They create their own momentum. They move without needing to be motivated every 5 minutes. They understand that urgency isn't panic. It's clarity. It's energy focused in the right direction. It's the mindset that says, If I don't do it now, someone else will. And not in a competitive, insecure way, but in a grounded, determined, committed way. Because once you understand how fast the world is changing, you can no longer afford to move slow. It's not enough to just know what you want. You have to pursue it with fire, with pace, with discipline. You have to stop playing the slow game of wishing and waiting, and start operating with the speed of someone who's done being stuck. That means showing up when it's inconvenient. That means learning quickly and applying immediately. That means failing fast, fixing faster, and refusing to let your mind slip into delay mode. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be fast enough to stay in motion. Speed doesn't mean rushing through life mindlessly. It means refusing to overthink every move. It means knowing that action brings answers far quicker than analysis ever will. And once you move, you adjust. Once you act, you learn. Once you begin, you evolve. That's how the top 1% live. They're not sitting around debating what if. They're in motion. They're building, refining, evolving every single day, and they don't wait to feel motivated. They move because the world is moving, and if they don't, they know someone else will. The world is not against you. It's just fast. And to win in a fast world, you don't need to chase everything. You just need to move with focus, consistency, and speed in the direction that matters. The ones who fall behind are the ones who thought they had time. The ones who stay ahead are the ones who understand that time is the one thing you can never get back. So they move now. Not when it's comfortable. Not when they feel ready. Now. This is your moment to shift how you move. Stop dragging your feet through the things you say you want. Stop acting like you have unlimited chances. Start waking up with urgency. Start making decisions quickly and learning from the outcome. Start living like your future depends on today, because it does. And the longer you wait, the further you fall behind. The world is moving fast, faster than yesterday, faster than ever. But you can catch up. You can rise. You can adapt. You just have to stop watching and start acting. Stop overthinking and start building. The pace of your progress is controlled by the speed of your decisions and the discipline of your actions. This is your edge. This is your test. Move now, and the world will move with you. Wait too long, and it won't even notice you were trying to keep up. Decide who you are. Then move like your life depends on it, because the best version of you won't wait forever. Chapter 6. Read what they won't. Know what they don't. You can build an entirely different life just by choosing to read what everyone else avoids. The quiet power in reading is something most people will never understand, not because they aren't capable, but because they never took it seriously enough to feel the impact. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless scrolling, the one who controls their focus and sharpens their mind through reading is already playing a completely different game. They're not just informed, they're equipped. They don't just consume, they comprehend, connect, and capitalize. Reading gives you access to thoughts, strategies, and breakthroughs that 99% of people will never touch, simply because they're too distracted to open a book and too impatient to finish one. The edge you're looking for isn't found in mindless content, it's in the quiet pages of a book that most people skip because it's not flashy enough. The world has been tricked into thinking that short attention spans are normal, that learning should be entertaining, and that deep focus is old-fashioned. But real growth isn't found in shortcuts. It's found in sustained thought, in uninterrupted time spent stretching your mind. And reading is one of the few things that still allows you to slow down, absorb wisdom, and challenge the way you see the world. It's a tool, a weapon, a secret path to becoming smarter, sharper, more aware, without anyone needing to hand you permission. Every time you choose to read instead of getting lost in digital distractions, you're making a statement about who you are becoming. You're training your brain to do what others have forgotten how to do. Slow down, pay attention, think deeply. You're building a mind that won't just survive in this noisy world, but one that thrives with clarity, understanding, and vision. The ones who lead don't do it by guessing. They lead because they've studied patterns, they've seen behind the curtain, and they've developed an insight that can't be replicated by quick opinions or surface-level thinking. It's not about reading more than everyone else. It's about reading what matters, choosing content that stretches you, picking books that were written by people who've done what you're trying to do, books that challenge your beliefs, elevate your standards, and demand more from you mentally. This kind of reading isn't casual. It's intentional. It's strategic. It's designed to turn you into someone that can't be shaken easily. Because when your thoughts are rooted in timeless knowledge, you stop reacting to the chaos around you. You start moving with purpose, confidence, and strength. Think about how much time is lost in passive consumption, the endless content that keeps your mind busy but doesn't actually change anything. You don't need more noise. You need clarity. You need focus. You need words that make you stop and think. Ideas that stay with you, echoing in your head, reshaping how you approach your goals, your relationships, your time. And that kind of transformation doesn't come from passively watching what everyone else is watching. It comes from choosing the harder path, the quieter path, and reading what others won't. The people who win are the ones who make space for real learning. They don't scroll through the day hoping something valuable appears in front of them. They go and find it. They build a habit around it. They prioritize it. And because they do that consistently, they start to operate with a mental edge that others can't match. They're not relying on luck or hype. They're grounded in principles, trained by thought, and prepared to face challenges that others get crushed by. Because they've read the roadmaps, they've studied the greats, they've learned how to think, not just what to think. When you sit with a good book, you're entering the mind of someone who lived through something you haven't. You get access to decades of experience in a matter of hours. You get lessons that were earned through pain, trial, and triumph. And you absorb that wisdom without having to make the same mistakes. That's leverage. That's evolution. That's how you skip years of struggle, by standing on the shoulders of those who've already been through it. Reading is not about information. It's about transformation. Every time you finish a book that shifts how you think, you walk away slightly different. A bit more aware, a bit more strategic, a bit more focused, and over time that adds up. That compounds. Until one day you look around and realize that the way you think, the way you speak, the way you move, it's no longer like the people around you. It's sharper, more focused. You've trained your mind to operate at a higher level, and people notice even if they don't understand why. While others spend their time memorizing viral opinions, you're building depth. While others chase shortcuts, you're building mastery. While others get lost in distractions, you're getting ahead with clarity. And this isn't about feeling superior, it's about taking full ownership of your mental growth. About choosing to grow every single day, even when no one sees it. Because the results are undeniable. The person who reads intentionally, applies what they learn, and stays consistent is unstoppable. Quietly, consistently, unapologetically. The mind is your most powerful asset, and reading is one of the few practices that gives it the strength to lead. Not just in your career, but in your relationships, your choices, your ability to handle stress, adapt to pressure, and lead others with vision. When you read what others avoid, you learn what they don't know. And when you know what they don't, you see the game differently. You move differently. You live differently. So this is your edge. Don't wait for the world to hand you wisdom. Go and read it, earn it, study it, apply it. Build a routine around it. Not as a hobby, but as a lifestyle. As a daily discipline, even if it's just 20 minutes a day, done consistently, it's enough to rewire how you think and how you operate. And the further you go, the more you'll realize knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. But you can't apply what you don't learn. And you can't learn what you're unwilling to study. You want to rise above the noise. You want to stay ahead of 99% of people who are mentally lost in distraction. Then feed your mind what others won't. Train it with what truly matters. And watch how different your life begins to look. Not because you said you would change, but because you studied, you acted, and you kept showing up long after everyone else gave up. This is your time. Build your mind. Build your edge. Read what they won't, and become someone they'll never forget. Chapter 7. Don't trust your brain. Train it. The moment you stop blindly trusting your own mind and start training it like the powerful tool it is, everything begins to change. Your brain wasn't designed to make you successful. It was designed to keep you safe. It was built for survival, not for growth. And that means by default, your brain will talk you out of anything that feels uncomfortable, uncertain, or challenging. It'll pull you back into patterns that feel familiar, even if they're destroying your potential. If you don't train it, it will train you to stay the same. And the longer you let that go unchecked, the harder it becomes to break out of that mental loop. Your thoughts are not always true. That's the hard truth most people never want to hear. Just because your brain tells you something doesn't mean it's real. Your mind will tell you you're not good enough. It will whisper excuses when it's time to show up. It will flood your head with doubts when you're about to step forward. It will replay every failure, amplify every fear, and highlight every flaw unless you learn how to take control of the conversation. You can't outwork a weak mindset. You can't outrun the lies you believe. You have to face them. You have to challenge them. You have to rewrite the script in your own head before you can write a better story in your real life. Training your brain starts with becoming brutally aware of what you allow it to dwell on. Every thought you entertain, without question, becomes a belief. And every belief shapes the way you live. If your brain constantly tells you that you're too tired, you'll believe it and stop trying. If it keeps reminding you how far you still have to go, you'll feel overwhelmed and slow down. But if you train your mind to focus on what you can control, on what's possible, on what's within your reach right now, then you'll begin to move with power. You'll begin to move with clarity, because now you're not being dragged by your thoughts, you're driving them. You can't afford to let your mind drift aimlessly anymore. If you do, it will drift into fear, insecurity, doubt, laziness, comparison, procrastination, anything that keeps you safe but small. And the crazy part is, your brain isn't doing this because it hates you. It's doing this because it's trying to protect you. It thinks staying where you are is safer than evolving. But you don't need safety. You need growth. You need momentum. You need to break your limits and build a version of yourself that doesn't flinch when things get hard. And that version of you only shows up when you decide to train your brain like you train your body. Discipline is a skill. Focus is a skill. Mental toughness is a skill. You weren't born with or without them. You build them. You train them. You earn them. You don't just wake up with resilience. You develop it every time you push through when it's easier to quit. You don't develop mental strength by avoiding discomfort. You develop it by walking straight into it and proving to yourself that you can handle it. That's how confidence is built. That's how clarity is formed. You take control of the patterns that once controlled you. Your mind responds to what you repeatedly do. Feed it garbage, it will give you anxiety and self-doubt. Feed it discipline, strategy, and purpose, and it will become your strongest ally. Most people spend more time training their algorithm than their mind. They scroll for hours, feeding their brain randomness and chaos, then wonder why they feel overwhelmed and uninspired. Your brain becomes what you give it. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. This is the difference between rising above the noise and being consumed by it. You're not stuck. You're just conditioned. Your mind has learned to run old programs, repeat old cycles, and play the same excuses that kept you small for years. The key is not to wait for those thoughts to go away. They won't. The key is to override them with action, with truth, with proof. You don't beat fear with motivation. You beat fear with movement. You beat doubt by doing what you were scared to do, and showing your brain that you're still here, still standing, still growing. Every time you do something hard, you teach your mind that you're not the same person anymore. You're no longer looking for the easy way out. You're building the kind of mind that's built for the long game. Repetition builds belief, not just in habits but in your identity. If you show up with intention every day, your brain will catch up. It will begin to believe what you consistently do. So if you train daily, it will begin to identify you as someone who's disciplined. If you face your fears, it will begin to see you as someone who's courageous. You don't have to fake anything. You don't have to repeat hollow affirmations. You just have to put in the work, and your mind will begin to shift. Slowly, steadily, unstoppably. Train your brain to look for lessons, not losses. To see setbacks as feedback. To stay focused in a world built for distraction. Train it to say no when everything around you is begging for your attention. To stay centered when everything around you is chaos. To respond with strength when the old version of you would have run away. And the only way to do that is through daily repetition, daily discipline, daily awareness of what you're feeding your thoughts, your time, and your energy. This isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming conscious. About waking up to the fact that your mind is shaping your future, one small thought at a time. And if you don't take the wheel, those old thought patterns will drive you in circles. You'll keep repeating the same week, the same year, the same life, just with different excuses. But the second you start rewiring those thoughts, the second you stop believing every lie your mind tells you, and the second you start training it to support your growth instead of your fear, you become dangerous in the best way possible. This is how you stay ahead in a world that wants you distracted, emotional, and reactive. You become the type of person who can slow down your thinking, catch your triggers, and choose a different response. You don't flinch. You don't fold. You don't get thrown off by every setback, because your mind has been trained to keep moving forward. And that kind of mental stability, that level of inner control, is what gives you the real power in life. You don't need to trust your brain by default. You need to lead it. You need to shape it. You need to reprogram it for clarity, focus, and strength. That's how you break free from your old patterns. That's how you stay ahead of the 99% who are still letting their minds run the show. Train your mind and your life will follow. Train it daily. Train it intentionally, and never again let it talk you out of the greatness you were built to create. Chapter 8. You're in a mental war. Fight to win. Every single day you wake up, you are stepping onto a battlefield. Not the kind with bullets and noise, but one far more subtle and just as destructive. A mental war. A silent fight between the version of you that wants to rise and the one that wants to stay the same. between your old patterns and your future self. And the crazy part is, this battle doesn't announce itself. It just shows up in your thoughts. It creeps in through hesitation, feeds off doubt, grows in procrastination, and disguises itself as comfort. And if you don't realize what's happening, you lose before the day even begins. That's how the mind works. If you're not fighting for your focus, your peace, your discipline, you are being mentally taken over by the distractions of a world that profits off your weakness. This war is being fought in your scrolling habits, in your overthinking, in the way you keep telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow, in the way your mind convinces you to settle, to wait, to relax, to take it easy when you should be stepping up. The war is happening every time you avoid the work you know would move your life forward, every time you choose comfort over growth. And if you don't train for it, if you don't gear up mentally, you'll start losing ground so quietly you won't even notice until years have gone by and nothing has changed. That's how it gets you. Not with drama, with delay, with doubt, with distractions dressed as entertainment. The people who get ahead aren't just motivated, they're prepared. They know this battle exists, and they treat it seriously. They build routines that protect their energy. They create systems that keep their focus locked in. They are aware of what's trying to pull them back, and they don't pretend it's not real, because they understand that every day is a fight for clarity, a fight for direction, a fight for identity. This world is not going to stop trying to pull you into a state of confusion, weakness, and reaction. The only way to beat it is to train yourself to lead your mind before it leads you somewhere you never intended to go. You can't ignore the war and hope to win it. You can't scroll endlessly, binge distractions, feed your brain junk all day, and then expect to have the mental clarity to build your dream life. You're either conditioning your mind for discipline or for destruction. Every time you let the wrong input win, every time you repeat that excuse, every time you feed into those lazy habits, you're training your mind to accept defeat. You're wiring your brain to believe that ease is more important than growth. And if you don't interrupt that pattern will become your life. You have to start treating your attention like your future depends on it, because it does. Your attention is everything. It's your direction, your progress, your mental state. If you lose control of your attention, you lose control of your life. And this world is built to steal it from you. Everything is designed to hijack your mind and sell it back to you in the form of trends, opinions, drama, and validation. That's the war. You can either fall into the trap of reacting to everything around you, or you can become the type of person who moves through the world with intention so strong that nothing can shake it. Every time you wake up and choose discipline over comfort, you win. Every time you sit down and do the hard work without needing motivation, you win. Every time you silence the noise, block the distractions, and stay committed to what you said you were going to do, you win. That's how you build mental dominance. Not in massive dramatic moments, but in the quiet decisions that stack up day after day. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be aware. You need to be alert enough to see when your old self is trying to creep back in and bold enough to shut it down before it takes over. The truth is, your old patterns won't give up easily. They know how to get your attention. They know how to whisper the exact excuse you've believed in the past. And if you don't have a system, if you don't have a standard, if you don't have a daily habit of feeding your mind what it actually needs, you'll fall right back into the loop. The loop of almost starting, the loop of being busy but not effective, the loop of talking about it but never fully stepping into it. That's what you're up against. And the only way out is to build a level of mental toughness that cannot be manipulated. This war isn't about just thinking positive, it's about thinking powerfully. It's about filtering your thoughts and asking, does this move me closer or further away from who I'm trying to become? You win the mental war by becoming intentional with what you listen to, who you allow into your space, what you watch, what you say, and what you allow to loop in your mind all day long. That level of awareness becomes your armor. That kind of focus becomes your weapon. Because when you start thinking on purpose, you stop falling for everything that once kept you trapped. The reason this is so important is because your mind dictates how you feel, and how you feel dictates how you act. If your thoughts are cloudy, weak, or negative, your actions will reflect that. You'll play small, you'll stay inconsistent, you'll move like someone who's unsure. But when your thoughts are sharp, focused, and grounded in strength, you act with power. You carry yourself with clarity. You move with confidence that isn't loud, it's rooted. That's what wins long term. That's how you become someone who doesn't just look successful but is solid on the inside. Because you've mastered your own mind first. The war is real, and the sooner you accept that, the faster you get your power back. You stop playing the victim. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for things to get easier. And you start building your mindset, like your life depends on it. Because it does. You build rituals, you build awareness, you build habits that remind your brain every day, I'm in control now, and over time that becomes who you are. Not someone who gets thrown around by life, but someone who shows up strong, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That kind of person doesn't need to chase peace. They create it. They own it. They protect it. This is the battle you're in. And now that you know it's real, you can start fighting the right way, with focus, with structure, with discipline that doesn't break under pressure. You're not here to survive the world's noise. You're here to rise above it. Train your mind. Protect your energy. Move with clarity, and fight to win, every single day, because the world isn't slowing down, and weakness will not wait for you to catch up. You either take command of your mind, or your mind will command your life. And the strongest version of you is the one who finally refuses to lose that war. Chapter 9. Become a learning machine, not a perfectionist. If you want to rise above everyone who's stuck spinning their wheels, you need to let go of the lie that you have to get it all right before you take the first step. Waiting to be perfect is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. Success doesn't belong to the person who knows the most. It belongs to the person who moves the fastest with what they know right now. It's not about being flawless. It's about being focused. It's about becoming a learning machine. Someone who is obsessed with progress, not perfection. Because once you shift into that mindset, you unlock a version of yourself that doesn't fear failure. You actually use failure to level up. So many people are frozen in place because they're afraid of making mistakes. They overthink every move, constantly second-guessing whether they're good enough, ready enough, qualified enough. And while they're stuck in their heads, someone else with half their talent is out there taking action, making noise, learning as they go, and getting better with every single move. That's how winners think. They don't expect to get it all right. They expect to improve. They expect to evolve. That's the difference between standing still and building momentum. You don't need to have it all figured out. You need to start where you are, with what you've got, and grow from there. It's not about getting it perfect, it's about getting it going. You're not here to impress the world with how polished you look. You're here to become the kind of person who adapts, who adjusts, who improves through movement. Perfectionism will have you rehearsing for a life you never actually live. You'll keep waiting for some invisible sign that it's time to begin. But the truth is, nothing changes until you do. You can read all the books, watch every video, and map out every detail, but if you don't move, it means nothing. Becoming a learning machine means you stop making it personal and start making it practical. You stop attaching your worth to outcomes and start focusing on inputs. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to grow. That means you learn fast, apply faster, fail smart, and keep pushing. You develop the ability to absorb information, test it, adjust it, and get back out there. You build emotional resilience through action. You realize that getting it wrong is part of getting it right, and the only thing that slows you down is the fear of looking foolish. Every time you hesitate because something isn't perfect, you are missing an opportunity to grow. Every time you wait to be more ready, you're teaching your brain to stall. And every time you stall, you lose momentum. You don't need a perfect strategy. You need real reps. You need real practice. You need the lessons that only come from showing up when it's messy, when you're unsure, when things aren't going the way you hoped, but you stay committed anyway. That's how you build the kind of grit that nothing can fake. That's how you create breakthroughs that can't be taught. They have to be earned. Becoming a learning machine isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most adaptable. It's about building the mental muscles to take a hit and come back sharper. To mess up and learn faster than you did last time. To step into situations where you know you're not ready and trust that you'll figure it out as you go. Because you will. The more you trust your ability to learn, the less pressure you feel to be perfect. You don't freeze. You flow. You adjust. You grow into challenges instead of shrinking away from them. You'll never feel fully ready. You'll never feel like the stars have aligned. And that's exactly why you need to start now. If you keep waiting to be flawless, you'll miss out on everything that actually makes you powerful. You become powerful by taking action in the face of uncertainty, by showing up when the fear is still loud, by proving to yourself that you can learn on the move, that you don't have to know it all to grow into it. That's how you build real confidence, not by preparing forever, but by doing more than you thought you could, and surviving the discomfort that comes with it. The people who rise, who evolve, who lead, they all have one thing in common. They're obsessed with learning. They don't get attached to looking smart. They don't need to be perfect to begin. They just start. They study. They fail. They improve. And they never stop. Their identity isn't based on being right. It's based on getting better. That's what gives them power. That's what gives them peace. They're not held hostage by perfection because they're too focused on growth. If you want to build a life that keeps expanding, you need to build a mind that doesn't need constant approval. You need to care more about becoming something than looking like something. You need to stop performing and start progressing. The second you drop the need to be perfect is the second you start moving 10 times faster than anyone still stuck in that loop. While they're polishing every detail of an idea they never launch, you're building, testing, and evolving in real time. Your learning speed becomes your superpower. Your ability to adapt becomes your shield, and your refusal to be held back by perfection makes you unstoppable. So don't try to be flawless. Try to be consistent. Try to get sharper. Try to show up even when your hands are shaking. And remember that every single time you choose action over hesitation, you're rewiring your brain to win. You're becoming a force, a learner, a doer, a builder. This is how you get ahead and stay ahead. Not by knowing it all, but by learning faster than anyone else. Not by waiting until it's perfect, but by getting started while others are still stuck in their heads. This is the mindset that changes everything. Become a learning machine. Move with urgency. Act with courage and keep showing up. Not because you've got it all figured out, but because you're willing to figure it out while you're in motion. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you build momentum that no one can take away from you. That's how you rise and never stop rising. Chapter 10. Schools teach obedience. You'll teach yourself freedom. The system was never built to make you powerful. It was built to keep you predictable. From the moment you stepped into a classroom, you were trained to wait your turn, follow instructions, memorize facts, and repeat what you were told. You were not taught to question. You were not taught to lead. You were not taught to think for yourself. You were shaped into someone who could follow a system, not someone who could break out of one. And if you don't unlearn that programming, you'll spend your whole life playing by rules that were designed to keep you average. This is the raw truth that people eventually run into when they wake up and realize they're capable of more, but have no idea how to break free. Because the system never gave you the tools to think independently. It gave you a formula. It gave you a schedule. It gave you grades and labels and consequences for stepping out of line. And that mindset follows you into adulthood. You start looking for permission to grow. You wait for someone to tell you it's your time. You feel like you need credentials to have a voice, and you keep doubting yourself because nobody ever showed you how to build self-trust. That's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. Real education doesn't happen in rows of desks. It happens when you finally decide to learn how to think, not just what to think. It happens when you stop waiting for answers and start asking better questions. It happens when you begin learning things that actually improve your life. How to manage your time, how to control your emotions, how to build discipline, how to create value, how to lead yourself when no one else is watching. That kind of learning doesn't happen in a textbook. It happens in the real world, and it's something you take into your own hands the moment you stop letting the system define your limits. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who evolve is simple. One group continues to follow the blueprint they were given. The other group breaks it down and builds their own. You weren't born to fit into a system. You were born to outgrow it. You were born to recognize that school might have taught you how to follow instructions, but it didn't teach you how to build a life on your terms. That part is your job. That part starts now. And the first step is understanding that obedience will never lead to freedom. Freedom doesn't come from doing what you're told. Freedom comes from doing what you've trained yourself to do. It comes from developing the mindset that refuses to be controlled by fear, limitations, or expectations. You have to teach yourself how to focus when the world is full of distractions. You have to teach yourself how to keep going when nobody believes in your vision. You have to teach yourself how to lead without being led, how to speak up when silence is comfortable, how to act without being given permission. That's what self-education is. It's not just learning more, it's learning how to become unshakable. Obedience trains you to seek safety. Freedom teaches you to chase growth. Obedience keeps you in a box. Freedom breaks the walls down. Obedience hands you a script. Freedom gives you a blank page. And that blank page is where your real life begins. You have to stop asking what the world expects from you and start asking what your highest self expects from you. The person you're meant to become isn't waiting in a classroom. That person is built through late nights of self-study, early mornings of discipline, and a relentless hunger to evolve beyond everything you were taught to accept. This doesn't mean school is worthless. It means it's incomplete. It gave you the basics. Now it's on you to build the rest. And the rest is everything that actually matters in the real world. Emotional control. mental toughness, strategic thinking, communication, self-worth, resilience, vision. No degree can teach you those things. You have to earn them. And you earn them through experience, through failure, through practice, through relentless repetition of the habits that most people never develop because they were never told they needed them. You have to teach yourself how to deal with pressure without running from it. You have to teach yourself how to create peace in the middle of chaos. You have to teach yourself how to get back up when life hits harder than anything school ever prepared you for. That's real freedom. It's not found in a diploma. It's found in your daily discipline. It's not about what you can recite from memory. It's about what you do when no one is watching. That's what separates those who stay behind from those who move ahead. Nobody is going to teach you how to become powerful. You have to make that decision on your own. You have to decide that being average is not an option. That being obedient is not your path. That being accepted by the crowd isn't worth more than being respected by yourself. That kind of mindset doesn't get handed to you. You build it by consuming the right information, surrounding yourself with the right energy, and showing up every single day like your future depends on it. Because it does. If you want to lead your life, you need to rewire your thinking. You need to reprogram everything that trained you to wait, to obey, to hesitate. You need to start thinking critically, moving strategically, and acting with urgency. No more overthinking. No more waiting for someone to pick you. No more playing it safe. The life you want is only available to those who take full ownership of their minds, their time and their habits. That's what school didn't teach you. That's what you have to teach yourself. And when you do, you'll realize you were never behind. You were just taught to believe you couldn't go any faster. This is the shift. From waiting to building. From memorizing to mastering. From being told what to do to deciding what you'll become. You don't need permission. You need a plan. You don't need validation. You need consistency. The old system built you to follow. But now it's your turn to lead. You're not here to be controlled by the world. You're here to shape it. So stop waiting for someone to show you how it's done. Become the one who does it. And never forget, obedience may keep you safe, but self-education is what makes you free.